star, the sun, has upped its frequency because we were always destined to go through a change. 2012, but it happened before then, but 2012 was the moment of breaking through, had increased its energy, not the amount of heat the sun produced, let's get away from that, but the frequency of light that it produced. And this frequency suddenly had an effect, not just on the human body, but on the planet itself. And not just the Earth, but everything in the solar system. So all of the planets in the solar system started to heat up, and NASA has known this for some 20 years. However, they needed to disguise this because these people are liars. They couldn't have the truth out there, because if you give someone an element of truth, they want to have more. And it's a bit like chocolate, isn't it? When you have a bit of chocolate, you want a bit more. So the bad guys say, don't give them any chocolate, and they won't ask for any. So they had to come up with a point about it. Now, the original George Bush, I don't mean the original George Bush, but I mean the George Bush Senior, came out and said that the global warming, from the scientist's point of view, was nonsense. In other words, he was talking about CO2 emissions, burning coal, etc., etc. Absolute nonsense. And he was right, absolutely right. The very next day, he'd made a statement saying, oh, global warming was real. Because someone had a word with him and said, no, you can't say that, Mr. President, this is the line. The fact of the matter is that the global warming is part of a planet's natural ascendancy to the next level of its existence. The planet has a covenant with us. Doesn't need a covenant with the animals because their consciousness is not at a high enough level for them to be allowed to sit down and make a legal declaration. Human consciousness, because of the manipulation 250,000 years ago, means that human beings now are considered adult. And goodness knows I know most of them are not, because they've got nuclear bombs and they don't know what to do with them. But what I mean is, in terms of your ability to know right from wrong and your ability to make decisions that you should know have impact on others. So the human race was considered to be adult. And in the early days of the human race loved the planet. It worshipped the planet, but that's not my point. It understood the planet, it cared for the planet, it gave thanks to the planet. And the earth, thank God, never forgot that. So now when all the evil, nasty people are doing what they do to the planet won't go back on itself because it made a covenant with the human race. The earth is a living creature, and we are like fleas on the back of this living creature. The planet could flip its poles, north become south, south become north, and throw half of the fleas off it. It could have the most huge violent eruptions and smother half the planet. It doesn't do this. It doesn't do it because it actually loves the human race. This is really important that people understand. That's why, shamanic journeying is so important. That's why, the native Red Indians, God bless them, half of them, 3/4 of them wiped out. It's why indigenous people in New Zealand and Australia and other countries have this strong connection, and the system laughs at them because they are seen as technologically backward, and they are, but they're spiritually advanced. And it's that which maintains the link between all of us living in the cities and the earth. No wonder the evil people wanted to exterminate and destroy all these indigenous communities, because they wished to break the connection between the planet and the people, and then just give everyone cell phones, iPads, etc., etc. And thankfully, that's not going to happen. But that's the point. And the point is that the connection with the earth is really important.